This is WNUT Talk on the WNUT Radio Network. This is WNUT Talk. I am Brandon, a.k.a. Stoney. And, we got a kind of a special one here. This is the last WNUT Talk of 2025. And I thought I would do something kind of cool today, which requires very little effort from me, so all the better. Earlier this year, as you may know, we launched the full 24-hour-a-day WNUT station, which you can stream anytime you want to on Live365.com or with the free Live365 app. You just search WNUT on either one of those, and there you go. You're right there. And throughout the year, in addition to playing full episodes at 6 in the morning, noon, and 8 p.m., what we've also been doing is from time to time, we just open a mic and do a segment there on Live365 that you can't hear in any of the episodes, and it's not on YouTube, and it's a Live365 exclusive segment that you will sometimes hear. And so what I thought I would do for the last WNUT Talk of 2025 is just compile all those exclusive segments right here so you can finally stream that anywhere that you like to listen to WNUT, be that our YouTube channel or even, whichever podcast platform or provider you like. So here we go. I'm going to take you all the way back to the beginning of the year when the 24-hour-a-day WNUT channel was still new. It was still in its infancy. And the Great Fish Schniz and I, we started recording segments covering topics like, there was a lady who was having some issues having sexy time with her boyfriend. We helped them through that issue. We talked about how old is too old to be a virgin. We talked about using AI in the creation of art. We invited Captain Destructo live via telephone to tell us a spooky Halloween story of his brother terrorizing a camp full of young kids. And, Clay D even got in on the fun right around the time we recorded the Half-Assed Holiday Hoedown 2 for you. So here we go. Without further ado, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to get right out of the way, and we are going to listen to all of the Live365 exclusive WNUT segments from 2025. Here we go. You are listening to WNUT right here on Live365. This is your boy Stoney. I got the Great Fish Schniz
What's up?
Sitting right here with me. And, we like to occasionally just open a mic and fucking talk crazy to you.
Right.
And there's an account that I found on Twitter, X. There's this girl named Kinsey an Idiot who will post every week her dad goes to the bar with his friends.
Okay.
But they make up like a little itinerary of things to talk about, which is fucking great. I mean, they'll talk about like sports, they'll talk about shit that's happening in like.
But they have an itinerary for it?
Yeah, it's almost like a meeting, like a board meeting. They'll have things they're going to discuss, and like the end will say general, conversation or whatever.
Nice.
And so I wanted to steal a couple of topics from their lists, which I think are great.
Let's do it.
There was one that I saw from November, right before Black Friday, that I think is goddamn ingenious, and it is retail employee body cams. Think about this for just a moment. Black Friday, people are going to be fucking fist fighting over the TVs.
The thing is, that doesn't really happen anymore. Like post-COVID, Black Friday is lame.
Well, it doesn't have to just be Black Friday.
Yeah.
I would say there are probably some interesting ass retail stories going on.
There might be.
Whether or not related to, that time of year. Maybe not even the Christmas season time of year.
Right.
Shit, President's Day sales and summer blowouts and this and that. Fucking, hell, a dash cam for like test drives on a car lot.
That'd be fucked
Shit
up.
like that.
Right. Dash cams and rentals.
What are some of your, do you have, I'm sure you must have some crazy ass stories from retail things.
Oddly enough, the craziest story I have is actually as a shopper and not as a, and I think we may have covered this at some point, but I had gone out for Black Friday at one point. I was riding my motorcycle. I was in my full gear. I always go full protective, got my leathers on, got my helmet. I got to the mall and, left the helmet on the bike, waiting outside for the mall to open up, and there was a pregnant lady there, and there were a bunch of these young hoodlums, we'll call them, who were continuously bothering her and kind of shoving her into the glass frontage of the mall.
What the fuck?
Yeah, real dickheads, right? And her husband then was there, and he was trying to stand up for him, and good on him. But he was maybe like 5'4", 5'5", some little dude. So
And you walked up and you were like, "You guys picked the wrong fight."
Essentially, yeah. I mean, you think about a 6-foot biker dude. At the time, I was shaved head, bald, and my black leather jacket and everything coming up. Grabbed a little fucking punk by the back of his jacket.
They went, "Oh no, guys! The lead singer from Judas Priest is here."
Right, and was going to cause them harm. All I did was like pull them back. I was like, give the bitch some space.
That's not nice. She didn't do anything.
Well, and I don't remember the exact words, but it went along those lines. It might have been your little bitch. Give her some space.
Okay, I was going to say, hopefully you didn't insult the lady.
But they did. They moved to the other side. They backed off.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, got in the local newspaper for that.
Really?
There was somebody there who was reporting on Black Friday, and they did not interview me. They did not ask me any questions, but they did put in the newspaper the next day
that Rob Halford stopped a crime.
It said local biker gang protects pregnant woman during Black Friday rush.
Holy shit. You're a fucking local hero.
Yeah.
Has the intern just Googled the story and found
the intern has pointed out a particular thing that happens at Home Depot where they have a spring Black Friday. And apparently there are fights over mulch.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about
chopped
shit
up,
like this.
ground up wood and shit like
Particular
that.
flowers and plants. Yeah.
They have wars over.
See, these people at this time
bullshit.
of year, there ain't no fucking COVID and online shopping that's going to curtail that. So a body cam in that situation definitely could, be beneficial or provide us with some excellent viral material online.
The problem is I think most of the people going to like Lowe's and Home Depot for that don't want to be caught on camera, period.
Well, they don't have a choice because now it's body cam time. You either get your mulch or you don't. And it's just like going out and speeding, and the cop pulls you over, and he's got his body cam on. You ain't got a choice. You're just on, baby.
Yeah.
It's the society we live in today. You're on camera, smile, as they tell us every fucking where. Well, here's another one that I saw on Kinsey and Idiot's Twitter feed. This was a thing that her dad posted. They discussed one time. Hang on.
There you go.
They discussed just this past December, actually. Should marriage licenses have an expiration?
Damn. Damn.
This dude's brilliant. I love him. He's got such good shit that he'll just throw in there.
So I guess at that point, at what point do you renew? Like say, a driver's license?
Yeah. My thought is, say they get like a, 15-year period. And then at the end of the 15-year period, you have to renew, right? Or you let it expire, and then you have to get married again.
Yeah, you know what, though? That's actually not bad because at that point...
I mean, hell, it could be any time frame.
If everything's going great, then you have an opportunity to go in and do it again.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad idea.
You don't have to get a messy divorce. You don't have to bring lawyers into this.
If you're in a situation with like a polyamorous relationship, you just kind of trade off.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
The intern's flailing.
Somebody's fucking doing the YMCA over here.
But it's in the vows to death to his part, so if it has an expiration date, somebody has to die.
This ain't got nothing to do with the vows.
You know what, though?
This is the government.
Yeah, that's true. The government doesn't give a shit about...
Yeah, this is the government and the death to his part. That's between you and Jesus. But the government, they're going to make some money, so you got to renew the license. You got to send in your however much money it is.
Yeah, and that is a way for them to charge us more money. Thanks for giving the government an idea to way to fuck us more. Thanks.
Because your marriage license expiring does not mean that you're being done apart. It just means that, the government needs more cash.
Yeah, it just means you need to do more paperwork.
File a document, but you can still be together until death does you part. So the marriage license expiring doesn't necessarily have to fuck that. Yeah, you got common law and shit. See, so should marriage license have an expiration? I was like, this dude. This dude is pretty fucking brilliant.
That's a good point. So Guido brings up a good point. There would be a test if it's like a driver's license. And I'll be honest with you, some motherfuckers need a test before they get married.
Okay, I can definitely see that.
Or have kids.
Yeah, you ain't wrong. What kind of shit would be on the test?
A fucking IQ test.
Just a basic.
Break 100, please.
Just some basic ass
courtesy
shit. Or are we talking about No,
I mean standard. Can you fucking feed yourself and tie your shoes?
Yeah, I mean,
can you walk and chew bubble gum at the same time?
I don't know what the fuck that has to do with the marriage, but hey,
I'm talking about having kids.
Oh, so now we're doing
we're gonna license that.
Yeah, before you bring motherfuckers into the world.
Right.
You want to talk about a goddamn brilliant idea? That you're on something right there,
Right.
But you know what though?
We'll pick more of these up.
We
I
have
think.
not
Yeah.
been fucking playing music for people in like 10 minutes or so.
What
It's
the
time.
fuck?
It's time to goddamn do that.
Bring it.
So I say we're going to just randomize it, play something from the vast
Play that one.
library. I'll
That
do
one
it.
right there.
Here we
That
go.
one.
Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Best music, best talk. WNUT.
You are listening to WNUT on Live 365. We
All right.
are live 360 fucking 5 days of the year.
Right.
And so we just figured we would get on this platform right here, directly into your ear hole.
Absolutely. So, as some of you may know, I'm a bit of a Redditor.
Yeah.
And there is a subreddit called AITH. Am I the asshole?
Oh boy. Yeah.
Or AITAH.
I thought you were going to talk about, like, you know, some of your more obscure Reddits that you like to frequent.
There is no such thing as an obscure Reddit to a Redditor.
All right, fine.
So, but either way, let's bring up a very simple one. This is from a few months ago from user LittleToe1835.
Okay.
So she and her boyfriend, they've been getting together for a little while.
By that, you mean fucking?
They've recently started doing that.
They've recently started fucking.
Recently started doing that. She enjoyed it the first time. He lasted at least a few minutes, she mentions.
She had a blast.
Absolutely.
For a couple of minutes.
Unfortunately,
Yes.
it seems that he's not quite getting in the hole.
Oh, no.
And
well, how
getting-
did she enjoy it?
Well, no. He did fine the first time.
Oh, okay.
And then afterwards, subsequent times, he's not making it that far. He
needs a
doing
map.
bit of dry. He needs a map. He's doing a bit of dry hump, and he's getting overly excited. He's finishing.
Is he not
But
getting...
she's not telling him this.
Oh, she...
He's
Okay.
not aware that he hasn't been getting to where he needs to be.
Is he just staying a limp biscuit? He's not able?
No, from what I understand, he is quite.
He's not endowed? Which are we dealing with here?
She's not saying. It's actually part of it is he doesn't even have his pants off a couple of these times. He's jizzing in his own pants by dry humping her, and she's not told him it's strange. I don't know if that makes her an asshole.
I would think he knows the problem there because he's having to do more laundry, number one.
Right.
Number two, I don't know if he is having the issue where he's not getting hard or if he's not getting very deep. And those can be two very separate issues. Or
Right.
he might be aiming for the wrong hole or just not aiming for a hole at all.
So we'll go with this. At one point, he quoted, "Wait, did I slip out?" But she was too afraid to tell him that he never made it inside.
I don't think anybody's the asshole. I think the problem is they just need to communicate more.
Right. Okay.
The problem is we're not just laying it out, and we need to. They need to say, look, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, and just have an honest conversation, and then you know what, things are going to be better. We're going to get to the bottom of whether or not he needs some Cialis or she needs to be on top. As our
Okay.
intern
I think
might
those are
have
good. Those are good
suggested.
options. That's not the option she went with.
What does she go with?
She didn't tell him, and she dumped him.
Okay, well, yeah, you can solve the problem.
Yeah.
that
I mean,
way.
I guess that'll work.
She might have some residual assholishness here if she didn't tell him what to look out for and correct in the future.
Right.
She might need to say, listen, you had a problem. You should correct this. I'm giving you a heads up as I send you off into the world aimlessly to wander.
So a lot of the users who are posting here are men, and they're responding, and their thought process is actually that he's the asshole because as a male, you know.
I mean, he does know. Previously, I did say, like, if he's fucking up his own draws constantly,
Yeah.
he knows something's wrong. But some of this, like, for example, he said, did I slip out? He clearly
Right.
didn't know, right? He clearly, for whatever reason, maybe he's not very experienced. He clearly didn't know. He needed her to help him, and she...
Maybe some guidance would have been good at that
It
point.
would have helped for her to say, the puzzle pieces aren't fitting right now, and we need to get to the bottom of this. And that's fine.
Yeah.
That's
This should go
not-
on the marriage license test that we talked about a while back.
Oh, that was another segment.
Yeah.
Fucking
Well, it's a
Live,
while back.
Live 365 might be randomizing these things. What if people listening haven't heard that yet?
Keep listening so you'll hear it.
That brings us to the next thing, some more music. And if you keep fucking listening, you might hear some more of this great back and forth witty banter.
Absolutely.
Between the Great Fish and myself. So don't go the fuck away. We'll be right back.
Full episodes at 6, noon, and 8. After Dark, Friday nights at 10. WNUT. WNUT.
You are listening to WNUT on Live 365. I'm not the Great Fish Niz. That's him over there.
That's me.
I'm Stoney, and I am doing something that the Great Fish Niz did in another segment, in another time. You may or may not have heard. I'm just fucking around on Reddit, and I'm pulling up shit. I'm going to ask you.
That's how we do it.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you a question, goddammit, and see what you think, because you have interesting stories, and every time I think, you know what, I've probably heard all of Fish Niz's stories. Fuck no, I haven't. This question comes from a dude named Renting Happiness, and he wants to know, do you know of someone who ruined their life in just a matter of minutes? If so, how did they do it?
Ooh.
And if you don't, I'll just read some of these fucking stories.
Oddly enough, I think I do.
Well, hit us with it.
There's no, I can't.
Why?
Because I'm pretty sure it's somebody who listens to the show. So I'm going to say no on that one. Let's kick a different one there, because I don't know anybody that would be interesting.
Well, somebody named DSPJST, I can't pronounce that no matter what, you need to buy a vowel, says, guy I went to high school with was kicked out of his college ROTC and moved back home. After some time of living at home, his dad walked into his bedroom and went off about him being a lazy ass and needing to do something with his life. He decided he was going to take his gun and rob a bank.
Oh, shit.
Supposedly the gun wasn't loaded, but he did successfully rob the bank and get away. Some time went by. He moved out of his parents' house and started living it up. He eventually told someone he trusted. That person turned him in.
Damn.
He was arrested and charged. He got a count for every person who was in the bank because he had a gun. You can decide if he ruined his life when he decided to rob the bank, or when he decided to tell someone that he did it.
That does remind me of a story I heard that I didn't know this person particularly.
Yeah.
But apparently a gentleman just decided to go rob a bank, came in with a gun, and told him, get on the fucking floor, give me the money. And they'd noticed he wasn't carrying a bag or anything, just like a sock over his face and the gun. They said, do you want a bag? And he said, you're damn right I'm serious. And they looked back and said, no, sir, we're asking, do you want us to put the money in a bag? And he says, I am getting tired of this bullshit. And they looked at each other and realized he couldn't hear them. So they hit the alarm. And then and they put the money in bags very slowly, and the police came and got him.
I thought this was going to be like he comes into the bank. He says, everybody get down on the floor. Now put your hands in the air. Now wave them like you just don't care.
Yeah, no. Apparently he was deaf, and then he tried to sue the bank for using his disability against him.
So on the one that I read, OK String 1698 responded, if you get away with a crime, you never speak of it. It sounds like OK String 1698 might know that from experience.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about.
Should we do another one?
Yeah, let's grab another one.
Some guy tried to come into my nightclub when he was clearly too drunk. I made the call to not let him in, so he starts shouting at me and tries to aggressively walk up to me. I put my hands up in defense, and he's pushing back against me. Then the dude lunged at my boss next to me, so my boss shoves him. The guy tumbles backward and slams the back of his head on a curb, paralyzed from the neck down forever. Tried to take my boss to court for $15 million, but the camera showed this guy instigating everything. Jesus. That comes from Expired Pilot.
That is a poor life decision.
Yeah. Man, getting into a club really ain't worth it.
There was a poor life decision that happened around me. Directly next to me, I will say. It's not somebody I knew personally, but I was working in Myrtle Beach on the boulevard. I went out to take out the trash. It was the end of the night. The boulevard was quiet. The trash bin that we used was behind the Bowery. Now, the Bowery is well known in Myrtle Beach. It's where Alabama was found. Yeah. It has a particular genre of people.
After they were done with Alabama, they moved them out there and put them on the curb. Well, yeah, so somebody pick up this aging country band.
That's where they were discovered originally.
Oh, that's more uplifting.
And I was throwing the trash out, and this guy comes up with one of those little butterfly knives. And he's like, give me fucking money, that kind of thing. And I'm thinking, I'm in a smock from a kitchen. I just threw nasty ass trash in the dumpster. What kind of food am I going to have? And the back door of the Bower opens. Yeah. And two bouncers are taking out trash. And they see this little dude with a knife trying to mug me.
Oh boy. Now you
I
got
think that
witnesses.
was a poor life decision on his part.
I got a feeling he got fucked up. With the quickness.
Officially, I saw nothing.
Did you turn into Rob Halford?
I did get to hit him once. It was pretty cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Somebody else turned into Rob Halford.
I was a little motherfucker at that point.
Oh, okay. So you did not become the Terminator.
No.
You were the little pregnant lady in that scenario.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. We're referring to a different segment.
Damn it.
That you guys did not hear.
You should have heard it. You've already listened to it because it's on WNUT.
Don't fucking turn this shit off until you've listened to everything 3 times. When you've made it through everything randomly 3 times, then you can. We'll get right on that right now. We're going to play some more shit randomly for you that you should be hearing for at least the 5th or 6th time. Don't go away.
See, just like so many other people out there, we get bored at work and we browse Reddit too. But when we do it, we tend to just open a mic and then create some content out of it. So we turn our habitual Reddit browsing in the workplace into some actual work. We have that luxury. Not everybody does, and I understand that. Let's get right back to it here on WNUT Talk. WNUT on Live 365. You're sitting here with me, Stoney, and the Great Fish
That's me,
chilling right
motherfucker.
Across from me, and the intern came at us with a question.
Yeah, a great question of the show-ish.
Yeah, because I mean,
question of the segment.
Not technically a show. We're just randomly spitballing on fucking Live 365.
Right.
The question was,
so if for someone who wants to have children, at what age is still being a virgin a problem?
ooh, how old is too old?
Yeah, how
virgin
old
if
is
you want
too
to have
old
kids?
if you intend on having children in your life to still remain a virgin?
So as I understand it, defects like Down syndrome and things will increase after a certain age, right?
Correct,
Like
yeah.
into
Absolutely.
into the mother's 40s. I do not know about the guy, but
I think it's about the same, actually.
okay.
yeah.
So a guy in his like 70s, while he technically can just willy nilly send his skeet on out there to whoever
50s
wants
is,
some.
I think the point where you really need to not do that.
Yeah, so you're gambling with the idea that
So as a
somebody's
male,
going to have a more
if
difficult time.
If you're approaching your mid 40s,
yeah, the clock is ticking, dude.
yeah,
But if we're just talking about like being a virgin, period, and you're not necessarily
Absolutely, yeah.
not trying to make more people.
would you expect
then-
the females out there to be virgins also?
I don't know that
in the mid
expect
40s
is the right word. I would say, obviously, people differ in when they feel comfortable doing a thing, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is perfectly fine. There's no pressure on. There shouldn't be pressure on that. Obviously, there is. Fuck those people. But at what point do you go, fuck it, I'm going to go through it. Like if I can't do this the normal just day-to-day way, if I don't meet somebody and things happen naturally, should you at that point then seek out an alternate method? Maybe you go find some, like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. They got legalized industries that we don't have in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
At what point can you explore other options without feeling like you are operating outside of society's norms and expectations?
And you know what? You can let us know your thoughts on this.
Oh, yes, you can.
By contacting us. You know what? Send us a text. Send us a video chat.
Yeah.
Send us a voicemail. You can call them to go to the voicemail. It's 803-220-1942.
Hell yeah.
That's the WNUT chat line.
And you don't even have to worry about, look, if we get enough of you wonderful, lovely, beautiful people sending us your unsolicited dick pics and responses to this question, we'll take it right to the show. We'll say, listen, if y'all were fucking listening to Live 365, you would know about this and you would be heard.
Absolutely. And if you have an idea for one of our questions, if you have a question for us, let us know.
So where do you fall? Because I took it into like, do you go to a prostitute at some point? I need to know more about where you stand before we play some random ass songs and send the people into dance land.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's just a lack of effort at that point.
Who, really?
Yeah, if you're older than the 40-year-old virgin, you ain't tried. Or you've given up. Or something along those lines.
That could be.
It's actually kind of sad.
So you're shaming people?
No, I'm sad.
Oh. Is that a way of shaming people?
Being sad?
Yes.
Maybe. The person that I'm referring to, because this is an actual individual that I know.
Yeah, okay. You're basing this on a real motherfucker.
I'm basing this on a real human being who has their lowest standards are higher than like what you would see the asshole has in a movie.
Oh boy. So essentially, you need to come up off of whatever your high horse, and mighty expectations might be for the perfect sexual encounter. Just get out there and get a taste.
Yeah.
I mean, so to speak, of what's awaiting you
in
this vast new future.
I mean, Tinder exists.
Yeah, there's other apps. There used to be Craigslist, but that's not really. You can't do that.
I don't think you can do that anymore.
Yeah, no, you can't. I mean, not that I would know. I never.
I do remember seeing a news article that they were shutting that down. Let us know if it's still active in there. We don't know. We're not going to go. Listen, I'm not going on to Craigslist.
I mean, who would do that? We're going to play some music. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, W, N, U, T.
You are listening to WNUT here on Live 365. I am Stoney here with the Great Fish Niz.
What's up?
Who is currently having his head lovingly fondled by the WNUT intern. Great Fish Niz, I've been reading a lot lately about people reacting to AI, specifically in music, like artists using AI for album covers and things like that.
Okay.
Where do you stand on...
For like the artwork of the album cover?
Artwork or music videos? Like obviously the musician, let's say you've got a musician who is going to be writing and playing their stuff effectively.
Right.
But the cover art might have been made by a computer. What are your thoughts on that?
So here's my issue with that one.
Mm-hmm.
AI doesn't actually create art. What it does is it seeks out and finds other art and then emulates it.
Like samples and regurgitates.
Exactly. Because what we're calling AI now is actually learning bots. It's not true AI.
Yeah.
So that means that what you're actually doing by using AI to do that kind of artwork is you're paying someone, because you're going to be paying for that kind of service, to copy someone else's art.
So there is money being spent on most AI.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the worst part of it though is that what you're really doing is you're paying for plagiarism.
What if you just ask Grok to do it or Chat GPT?
They're
we would, of
still
course,
doing the
not
same
let
thing.
Chat NUT do that.
Yeah, they're still doing the same thing because, unlike Chat NUT, which is an actual sentient AI,
of course, became
Chat
self-aware a couple of years ago,
and the other services are literally sampling other people's work. They are stealing other people's work to get their product.
Yeah.
Therefore, you're paying someone to plagiarize.
I noticed, I want to say it was Bosley, but I might be saying the wrong name. But it was like a hair restoration commercial on television where they tried to make like a lion out in the jungle, like he's on the savannah, and the lion's flowing mane is going bald up top, right? The lion has male pattern baldness just on the top of his mane, and you could tell it was clearly they had just fed that shit into an AI of some type and had it spit this video out of this balding lion.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, so the concept was a good one. I'm sure that real people came up with this idea and this concept, but then it was executed by just...
It was animated using AI.
Yeah, so no real human worked on that.
I think that's less of an issue, but
for the commercial.
It's still an issue.
Yeah.
Because
you've still got artists who could be working on this commercial.
You have an artist somewhere who did work on that.
Right.
There's an artist out there who worked on something at least similar enough that the AI was able to copy it.
Yeah.
And now you're paying someone to write a program to steal that.
Yeah.
So you may not be doing that on purpose to cause a problem or to purposefully steal.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you that the person who wrote that AI program absolutely 100% understands and knows what they're doing.
Yeah. And it's especially kind of a lot of people take exception to it. I've read this debate on different forums, from Reddit to Facebook, X. People are saying, look, if you're a musician and you take your art seriously enough, why would you then just kind of do a quickie regurgitation of something like this for your cover art when they're a real, honest to God artist just like you, not playing an instrument necessarily, but who can, and
really, if you can't afford a cover artist, then do something yourself.
Yeah.
Or have a friend or family do something for you.
Yeah.
And then when you can afford a professional artist, then you can go get them.
Yeah.
But I 100% guarantee that the professional artist would rather you hand draw something or have a friend or family hand draw something in the meantime instead of stealing the work that they've already done.
Mm-hmm. I also heard a different podcast debating this, not this particular thing about like musicians and whatnot, but there was a point made where you can use the AI to help you brainstorm. You might feed some ideas into AI and have AI help you come up with concepts, but then use real people, then have these executed by artists who, do you feel like that's maybe a better solution or a valid one to maybe use the AI to help you come up with some ideas?
It can. I mean, if you're at a point where you can't come up with an idea, have you tried talking to human beings yet? Because all the AI is going to do is corroborate information from human beings.
Yeah. So it's a tool that's out there. I mean, people are using it in different ways. We don't necessarily have to resort to these methods
when you're a creative person, using AI as a crutch, I think is unfortunately something that's happening more and more that doesn't need to be necessarily done.
Yeah.
Now, if you're someone out there and you're playing with AI art,
right,
because you've never done it before and you're curious about it, I have no problem with that. You're experimenting, you're having fun.
Yeah.
If you're doing this on a professional level,
for example, you sent me a photo rendering of what AI thought Chad and UT looked like.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That was purely for entertainment purposes. We're not going to be profiting off of that in any way.
For all the time that you spend feeding in words for the AI to try to figure out what you actually want and getting the result you want, you could spend that time with an art program and kind of digitally create your own stuff. Because if you can't freehand draw, you can import bits and pieces of basic shapes and then mold them to be what you really want them to be for about the same amount of time.
Right.
There are also AI programs that are used for like correction.
Yes.
Like if you make a mistake, it helps you correct like the mistakes you made, but learning your own art.
Right. Absolutely. Right? Upscaling.
Yeah, exactly. Things along those lines.
Helping you recognize patterns.
Your own patterns and mistakes along those lines. So I think that's a pretty positive thing in that capacity.
But I think we all can agree that when it comes to creating songs about gluing your balls to your butthole, AI is unmatched.
Well,
and it probably should be. It should continue to be.
I don't
used.
know. Mullis mixes.
It should remain that way. Unmatched.
AI will never touch Mullis mixes. The fine folks there would never allow that.
No, I meant Mullis mixes being really good at making songs about gluing your butthole.
No, Mullis Mixes wishes they had come up with something so wonderful and so catchy.
Oh, great. Now you've put it out there. That's going to be the next thing.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? There could be a snazzy-ass dance remix featuring, Chapel Roan or something coming next.
That'll finally win me over, I guess.
I don't know. But hey, this is WNUT. You were listening to us on Live 365. Don't go anywhere. We're going to play you possibly some ads, maybe the best music you've ever heard in your goddamn life. We're going to find out right now.
Kids playing radio for 30 years. WNUT.
This is WNUT. You are listening to us on the Live 365 radio network. I am Stoney, a.k.a. Brandon. I got Carlito.
That's right.
Carlos, the great Fishniz. And let's not forget about Aguido, who is hanging out here with us, and the intern. But also, Paul from Connecticut hanging out. We are up here seeing the sights in beautiful, sunny, and toasty warm Connecticut, New England, where... I'm not going to bullshit you. It was below freezing when we woke up, and it just tried to snow on us.
This is complete bullshit.
But I have a question that has arisen during our visit here in New England that I'd like to ask a local and get you to weigh in on. And that is, Paul, do the cops here know that they can actually pull people over for violations in traffic, like speeding and reckless driving and shit like that? Are there, in fact, traffic laws here?
Well, they should, but they can't be bothered with that kind of stuff. They'd have to put their donut down.
That's not nice. It's a good thing your last name is from Connecticut, because boy, you would have some answering to do to some authorities.
He might have something. I have noticed a large number of Dunkin' Donuts everywhere here.
There are a fuck ton of Dunkin' Donuts.
We do
here.
have a lot of Dunkin' Donuts.
There's more than I've ever seen.
But they don't sell
donuts
anymore.
So tell us, just honestly, are there traffic laws in Connecticut?
There are traffic laws. Like I said, they just can't seem to be bothered to enforce them. If you're going under 15 miles an hour over the speed limit, you're fine.
What do you have to do to get pulled over here?
Apparently 15.
You got to be going 16 miles an hour over the speed limit.
You have to. I can't imagine that would even do it. Just from what I've seen, we have been, we went as far south as Orange. We went to Merle's Record Rack and hung out with those fine folks. We went out west to Bethel, and we visited the fine folks at Disc and Dat. And we've hit a few places in between. We were in Southington today, having some fine clam chowder with you. In fact, we saw Paul from Connecticut there, and just all the swath of Connecticut that we've covered today. It seems to us that there is nothing that would get the cops' attention. Else, I would have probably seen somebody pulled over at some point.
I mean, you got to figure there's got to be something, but I can't.
There is.
I don't have that criminal mind.
There's an epidemic apparently on Route 8 of people. Route 8 is a state highway that runs north to south. The entirety of the state, and the shit that happens on there is so fucking insane. I was telling a Guido intern and Carlos himself today that if I were to install a dash cam in my car and drive Route 8 just a couple times a day and put one thing up that I see happen on that highway, I could have the most viral YouTube channel on the face of the fucking planet.
Yeah.
I could monetize that son of a bitch and just retire happy and paid.
Happy and rich.
Because people would not believe the kind of shit that happens on the daily.
It's true.
So now you really have to be on the lookout for someone using that idea because you just put it out there.
No, I'm fine with that. I've been saying that for a while, but I'm lazy enough it hasn't happened yet. So it's fine if somebody does it. Just 15% to me, 20% if you hit a certain threshold of views, but. On Route 8, the epidemic is apparently wrong way driving. People love to get on that son of a bitch. If you should be headed south, you're headed north and vice versa. And there's accident after accident after accident, and it never fucking ends. And I have the solution. It's those little tire strips. It's the spikes that face one particular way. If you drive over them the correct way, they dip down into the concrete, and your tires are fine. If you drive across them the wrong way, they shred the fuck out of them shits, and then you can't go anywhere.
Problem is they will still shred your tires even if you go the right way.
But not in my experience, and I mean, hell.
Yeah, I've actually I've been over a lot of those and haven't had a whole lot of problems with them, but they do cause enough problems randomly.
Yeah.
That we're just going to have to find higher tech versions of them, so to speak.
Because here's what these dinglings have done. They have put on the facing the wrong way on the exit ramps. So you should be coming off of Route 8, and if you're going the wrong way to get onto Route 8, you will see signs that have like flashing lights that tell you you're going the wrong way. So the little flashers haven't fixed the problem. The signs that say, "Hey, dumbass, what the fuck are you doing?" haven't fixed the problem.
Have they painted giant arrows pointing the direction of travel?
If these other things haven't worked, I gotta believe that probably wouldn't be the thing.
I would think that the arrows were probably the first.
If we had a good Aerosmith who could get out there and do that
Simple
for us,
solutions.
we would
Keep
love
it simple, stupid.
Yeah. I mean, so last year, the year before, I saw somebody pulled over out there on the highways of this fair state, and I said, this motherfucker had to have been shooting a grenade launcher out the side of his fucking car.
Well, it was either that or they got a rookie cop that felt like he needed to,
Freshly moved to the state.
Show off the size of his dick.
He was like, "You don't speed through my state." And then somebody was like, "Motherfucker, where do you come from? We don't do this here. We don't pull people over for shit like
thanks.
this."
Now we're going to be here an extra 2 hours at
Yeah.
work doing paperwork.
I was going. There are things that people will do to sidestep what is the law in most places to get where they're going a little quicker. Like, for example, somebody is stopped in the travel lane with their blinker on, turning left. They're waiting for the oncoming traffic to clear so they can make that left turn. A lot of times drivers will just fucking go right around them. Get up on the shoulder. Doesn't matter if it's an intersection, they'll go around them on the right, and you're not supposed to do that. I was doing that one day, and a cop was headed right the fuck for me as I got around the guy, and I saw the cop, and I just about shit in my fucking driver's seat. And then I realized they don't care.
They don't care.
This is Connecticut. They don't give a shit. And I just kept on going, and I looked in the rearview mirror. The cop didn't even notice. He didn't bat an eye. He didn't hit his taillights.
That's because he would have done the same thing if he was in your
Jesus
in your
Christ.
position.
Folks, I'm just saying.
It seems to me that the police, it's not that they don't realize they can give tickets, it's that they don't know the law.
Yeah, so what my daughter was pulling into her parking lot, making a left turn, and there was a line of cars sitting at the light, and a gentleman waved her by to let her cross in front of him, and there was another man who decided he didn't want to wait, and he went around that guy, and they ended up colliding, and the cop didn't know the rules.
Yeah.
He told Amber, my daughter, he told her she was the one at fault. And I argued with him. I said, this guy wasn't even in a lane. He shouldn't have been passing this guy. He said, well, I already deemed it her fault and wrote it in.
That's what the judge is for.
I already
Yeah.
did the wrong thing, so you're
Yeah.
stuck with it now. See, one of the things that I've noticed is that people will stop. Say you're at a stop sign and you're waiting to turn left, and there's a car approaching from your right that should have the right of way to either pass you or to turn, and go on the road that you're, turning off of. You get what I'm saying? So the drivers here will stop and wave you on, like, okay, I know I have the right of way, but you come on first and then I'll make my move. And every time I see that, I'm like, I could fall for this shit, and this dude could hit the fuck out of me and then claim that I pulled out.
Well, you know what? That drives me crazy because I'll be the guy behind the guy that's letting that person go in, and I'm like, wait, I don't want to be stuck behind this person, so why are you letting them in?
You could insurance
Just get
scam
off the road
fuck
so
out
I
of
can
people
keep
here.
driving.
I don't understand it. And why do people do that? I'm like, the one time that people want to be polite around here is to do the wrong fucking shit in traffic. How about just don't come up on my ass and flash your brights at me when I'm not going fast enough for you at night? That'd be lovely.
That would be nice.
You
That
could
would be
pepper
nice.
some of that into your politeness in traffic. But anyway, and the other added benefit to a YouTube channel like the one I mentioned before is, like, maybe it go viral enough, other cops in other states where they can enforce traffic would see that shit and would contact the highway patrol here and would call them up and just offer some advice. Hey, did you guys know you can make money? You can fucking take in revenue if you stop these people from doing the shit they're doing. And you write them some tickets, man. You can get the towns paid.
One would think.
I mean, I'm telling you, if you ever find yourself in sunny, beautiful New England, look out for some of this bullshit. I'm Stoney. This has been WNUT right here on the Live 365 network. We're going to hit you with some music. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Yeah, that is legit. I have straight up at least 2 times, maybe 3. I've had to get out of the lane I was driving in because somebody crossed a double line and came at me head on in a lane they're not supposed to be in. I swear to God, I've been telling people for years the dash cam thing there, and I am so going to do it one day. But anyway, this is Captain Destructo from this past October telling us a story about a time that his brother terrorized some campers at a Christian camp. And man, it really takes me back to my misspent youth. You are listening to Live 365. This is WNUT hanging out, and we're in the Halloween mood, man. We're in like a fall frights kind of mood. Well, let me tell you something. I've got somebody on the line right now who has a pretty decent fall fright. I got Captain Destructo on the line. What is up, my man?
How's it going, dude?
You in a Halloween kind of scary mood?
Thankfully, haven't broken anything this week yet.
You got some pumpkin spice, or you fending off the ghosts and the goblins?
Well, working in a church, you just never know the spirits that are in the church walls. So I'm certainly doing my best.
That's just extra protection, man. If these entities come around, you got like crosses and crucifixes you can flash. You got extra force field around you. But
holy water to splash everywhere. Yeah.
You had been telling me at one point when we were talking about many WNUT related matters about a really cool story that happened at camp one year. And right here on Live 365, I say you tell these lovely people what happened when some terror followed you to camp one year.
Well, let's just say it like this. My brother was someone who delved into some mystic elements from time to time.
Yeah.
He enjoyed punk rock, and he enjoyed the lighting, which insinuated some definite Halloween feels to it.
He probably spent his time in a haunted mansion or two, right?
Oh yeah. Like the Netherworld in Atlanta, he loved those kind of things.
And from what you're about to tell us, my guess would be he enjoyed a Friday the 13th movie or two.
Yeah. He was definitely a scary movie fan, and the story that involved him at a church family camp was disturbing, funny, and one of those memories that you look back on and you go, man, that was just effing awesome.
So
That
not
was really
just
cool.
camp or summer camp. We're at church family camp here.
Yes.
Okay.
We are at church family camp in the booming metropolis of Hawkinsville, Georgia, which is famous for having movies come and use its settings when they're talking about 1920s and 30s and 40s. It really hasn't changed a whole lot.
Oh, yeah. In fact, speaking of Friday the 13th, I'm pretty sure that an entry or two in that series shot around that area. So
I wouldn't be surprised.
So, yeah.
I would not be surprised one bit. So we're at a A.H. Stevens State Park in Hawkinsville, Georgia, for our church camp, and it's nowhere near Halloween. But my brother, sensing that he would have some enjoyment, he brought along an old school CD player with speakers. He brought along some strobe lighting. He brought along some material to dress the cabin up in a way that would, let people know what kind of person he is.
As you do when you're going into the rustic wilderness, you always want to have your light show. You want to have, some fog machines. You got to bring your special effects with you, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And no fog machines, but what he did was just spot on, absolutely spot on. So it's families with young kids and people of all ages there. And of course, you're in the middle of log cabins in the woods, so there's really not a whole lot of technology nor lighting to go around. And so he gathered me and some of my friends around and said, "Hey, I'm going to do something tonight that's really going to freak people out." And I'm like, oh Lord, like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And so he's like, no, it's going to be awesome, I swear. So later that night, turns out that he had decked his cabin out and he put up a light to act as a strobe light, and he busted out his punk rock. And I don't know exactly what kind of music we're talking about, but I mean, it's definitely your 80s kind of punk rock.
Yeah, definitely something that you wouldn't normally hear at a church family camp.
Yeah. And, we're talking about the unedited versions too that don't air out over the radio.
Maybe some Iron Maiden. Maybe he's got a little Misfits or something.
Smashing Pumpkins, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And so he's like, all right, when it gets dark and all of the kids and families come back to the cabin or move around, I'm going to stand in front of the door and I'm going to turn the lights off in the cabin. And I'm going to have the strobe light going, and I'm going to turn the music up 90% and just look like, Jason or Michael Myers in the door. And we're like, no, you're not going to do this. It's not Halloween. I mean, dude, Jesus is watching. I mean, come on now. But he did it. And you could hear the music from his cabin on the other side of the campground.
Like this random seance is happening, or the gates of hell have just opened up.
And when I walked over, I saw faces of little kids just like terror, like they had no idea what was going on. And my brother made no noise. He just stood still like a statue, just looking straight out.
Just a silhouette.
The strobe light blinking behind him.
Some people go to camp for the memories. Some people go to camp to build character. Some people like the camaraderie that you get. Other people just go for the sheer terror, right? They go to have the bullshit scared out of them, apparently. And
it was hilarious because he was probably 14, 15 years old. I was about 10, 11 years old. So we were old enough to know what was going on. But
you're old enough to know better.
These little kids were like screaming in terror and running away because there's a monster in the cabin. No, that's my brother.
This is the kind of thing me and the Great Fish Niz, we would have run right up to it. We'd have been like, oh my God, there's a concert going on. We got to check this out. These kids and families probably did not have that same reaction.
Oh God, my friends and I were just laughing so hard. And of course my parents would, tell my brother, hey, not the place. Let's kind of wrap it up for the night and don't do it again for the rest of the weekend that we're here.
So after they take these kids and clean their pants out, and get them a fresh set of drawers and whatnot, like what became of you guys? Like, did they take you down to the river and just baptize you right on the spot?
So we were not the kind of Christian church that really did a whole lot of that kind of stuff. And quite frankly, I think that once my parents figured out what was going on and spread the word around to other parents, that there really wasn't a big push to announce what happened. It was just one of those, hey, friends, let's not do that again. This is not the time and place to be looking like you're about to kill someone in a wood cabin.
Well, hey, at least you gave a group of campers one summer a memorable experience. At least you gave them a lasting image that's going to stick with them probably for the rest of their lives, I would say.
They will never listen to punk rock the same way again.
And it might still visit them in their nightmares every spooky season when you need things. When you need a story like that to tell people. Captain Destructo, thank you for joining us here on WNUT on Live 365. We appreciate it. Do you have anything else you want to say to these lovely people before we head on to some more music here?
Be safe and always check your surroundings.
Yeah, just do some recon on these camps before you get out there in the wilderness all isolated for a week. For God's sake.
That's
anyway, we are going to check out some more music here on WNUT. We'll be right back with God knows what after this.
Full episodes at 6, noon, and 8. WNUT.
You are listening to WNUT right here on Live 365.
Hell yeah.
I'm sitting here with Carl.
What's up?
Sitting here with Clay D. Carl, what's good, baby?
Everything's good, man. It's coming up to Christmas time, New Year's. We're going to be having some good old time.
You would think I have a topic for us to talk about.
I'm cooking a goddamn turducken for Thanksgiving.
I don't have a goddamn thing to talk about. So what is a turducken, and why does it start with the word turd?
Okay, so it's you take a turkey, right? You strip out all the inner bones.
Yeah.
Then you take a duck that you've stripped out all the bones of, and you stuff that motherfucker in there. And then you take a chicken, you do the same thing, you stuff that motherfucker in there. And then you make some crawfish etouffee, and you stuff that motherfucker in there, and then you bake it all together.
At what point do the turds come in?
The turd is the turkey.
Right, but there's
turducken.
Yeah,
turkey,
so,
duck, and chicken.
Clay, are you going to be eating some turds?
I think the first layer
for Thanksgiving,
and partially part of the second layer make the turd.
That's where the turds are.
That's where the turds.
It will become turds.
The turkey and the beginning of the duh.
That much we know for sure.
You should be used to taking the D, though.
It will be turds. Hey, look, what I do off the air is none of your goddamn business.
That's right. It's not the Book of Carl's Dick.
No. That was the Book of Carl's Dingling. Don't be crass, okay? We don't like to get ridiculous.
Surprisingly few questions have come in. I think I've answered all the questions that can be.
Well, so we had Natalie from North Augusta who we were, I was tapping the question keg.
She had a really
quite a bit there.
She was really good at coming up with questions.
And then, life intervened, and she's been busy. She's been working her balls off. She's been doing some things, and I need to say, hey, number one, don't be sleeping on WNUT. You got to catch up on our shit. Number two, ask the Great Fish Nez some more questions about his
because at one point we were talking about maybe bringing her in for like a live interview type thing.
She was going to ask some questions to the
if she's got time.
To the
I understand
gang of
life
motherfuckers, and that didn't wind up happening. Clay D, what's good, man?
Yeah.
What's happening?
What you been doing for the past 200 years?
What's on your mind?
200 years? Well, it's been at least about 160, right?
Yes, I mean, in that time, what you been up to?
Actually, keeping a low profile. Not really. I don't really go out that much anymore.
Sometimes you got to do that. Is that because you're a wanted man? You can't
in 4 countries
bringing unwanted attention on yourself and shit. You can't just be going out there in front of the authorities.
Now, I did do a little bit of research when I found out Clay was going to be coming on, and I was like, oh shit, it's been way too long. So I did a little bit of research, and I found out you've been handling meat lately.
He does. He's an expert meat handler.
Lately? Since I was 2.
Since he was 2. Holy fuck, you got to jump on that. Man. But anyway. That's
I'm a butcher.
Okay, so that's badass.
That's kind of cool.
That is like a badass fucking profession.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, he knows how to dispose of a body. So if we ever get somebody, if you cross us the wrong fucking way, I got Clay over here.
Yep,
he knows what's up.
He make you into some gourmet shit.
Yeah, and speaking of meat handling, that High Society magazine that we brought out earlier has not left Clay's table in this studio in a long time. There's some meat handling going on, I believe, under the table. And Under the Table and Creaming. I think that was a Dave Matthews album. How are you, sir?
Probably was. He probably stole it from some college kid, as he did with most of his stuff.
Oh boy,
I don't know where we're going to go from there. I think I'll just say, hey, keep on listening to Live 365. We're going to play some music right here on WNUT.
So there you go. That was our boy Clay D, along with me and the Great Fish Niz, just this past November, talking about all kinds of fun things, like, things that I probably wouldn't eat for Thanksgiving, and how Clay likes to handle his meat. WNUT is just unpredictable sometimes. But anyway, hey, I hope you had a great 2025. I hope you had a wonderful year from start to finish. I hope 2026 is going to treat you super well, and I hope you didn't eat any turds for Thanksgiving. This has been WNUT Talk right here on the WNUT Radio Network. I am Brandon, a.k.a. Stoney, saying, hey, if you want to listen to WNUT around the clock, you can do that on live365.com or with the free Live 365 app. You just search WNUT on either one of those, and you are off to the races. Also, you can stream every show we do, from this one to the flagship show to WJAZ with the Jazzman, WNUT After Dark with the Great Fish Niz. All of those shows are streaming on demand anytime you want them on our YouTube channel at The Real WNUT. And finally, get this show, WNUT Talk, anywhere that you stream your favorite podcasts, be that Spotify, Apple, Amazon, or our YouTube channel. They're all on there. Just search WNUT wherever you like to do that. And be sure to join us next time when the topic will be I never have any damn clue. We will find that out together, and I'll see you then.